Well, first off, a hard-fought football game. I want to start out by saying I'm just really appreciative of all the fans that showed up, the inclement weather, late game. The support really meant a lot to us and our team. Give credit to Stanford. I thought they played tough football, and they made more plays than us tonight. And, winning's loyal to no one. And you got to go out there and get it in this league, and I thought that's what you saw tonight. And, they made a couple more plays than we did.
Okay, Jake, how much did the elements play into tonight's outcome?
You know what, going into it, I really zero. I really thought that. I mean, looking at it, I'd kick off, you thought it was going to be heavy rain really the first hour and a half, and it just rained a little bit, to be honest with you. I thought it was pretty good out there. The wind was dead. The weather was, the temperature was up. I don't think the elements played any issue.
And, Jake, the fans, you started off so hot, 4-0, 13th ranked. I think they're left wondering right now, what's happened here for you guys?
Well, I think it's a fair question, I think we've always said we can beat anybody if we don't beat ourselves. I think there's been things in the last 5 games where we've beat ourselves. Football is the ultimate team game, and you saw I did not think Stanford could hold us to 7 points, and I thought we could hold Arizona State to less than 38, and we haven't played the team game yet, and I think that's what you're seeing. But I'm a big believer that I don't complain about anything I'm not willing to change. Okay, so I think criticism's fair, but all Cougs out there, it's hard. Recruiting's hard. The situations are hard. We've been in a lot of uncertainty for 3 years, and we need to double down on what it's going to take to sustain our program and move it forward. And that's not an excuse making. It is. It's tough. And we knew this league was going to be tough, but we're better than this result. I believe that. So I take that on me. That's my responsibility to have the team ready in every phase of the game to win. And we have more talent than what you saw on this field. I believe that. I'll never blame the players. Never. So coaches, we got to do a better job of playing team football and winning tough, tight football games, which you just haven't been able to do for whatever reason here or there. But we got 3 more opportunities. The standard around here is to go to a bowl game, and we still have time in the hourglass.
You mentioned the standard there. Is there something that needs to change, whether it be throughout preparation throughout the week or something from the coach's perspective when it comes to getting this team back to where it was in the first 4 weeks of the season?
I think we believe in a process. We set a plan. We work the plan. We're not going to deviate from the plan. And so just your answer, no. We're in the back half of the season or the back quarter of the season. We reduced quite a bit of practice time to make sure we're fresh and healthy, and we're a little bit banged up at certain positions, and we're missing some guys out there, and that's football. So at the end of the day, we're going to believe in our process, and we're going to stay true to it.
And you've talked about this conference before on how good it is, specifically this year, but the margin of error this year from every team seems to be so thin, wins and losses. Can you kind of speak on that and what tonight that kind of showed as well?
I think, I don't know if they had the same conference record as we did, or we do now, right? So everyone comes in 0-0, and you got to win. You got to win, and we had them at our place at Giesa Field. We had an opportunity to win this football game, and we just didn't do it and didn't take advantage of it and didn't make enough plays.
The offense was in a bit of a group the last couple of weeks, but for tonight, what did you kind of see and what kind of challenges did maybe Stanford present or just kind of the rhythm?
I know obviously we're out of sync, we're out of rhythm, balls were on the ground, whether it was drops, whether it was runs, whether it was missed blocks, missed protections, the drop 8 narrative, you keep hearing about that. We need to get over the hump, and to do that, we need to be able to run the ball. I sit up here every week and talk about running the ball. We got to execute running the ball and keep people off balance. I think there was opportunities out there, and we got to take the ball down the field, take some of these one-on-one matchups on the edges and take advantage of it. So I think we'll look at the tape, and there'll be a lot of missed opportunities. It's obviously frustrating to lose 5 games in a row. We got guys that are working hard, but you got to execute in tough moments, and you got to do your job.
Coach, you said that you wanted to be more involved in the game plan, and it looked like Schlennbaker got a whole bunch of carries. Was it more of getting the ball on the ground, or what did you get into this game that maybe you can take a positive out of?
What was I involved in? What were you asking?
I'm asking what in the game plan did you guys do more? Because you said on the Monday press conference.
Yeah, I mean, I was involved, in the defensive game plan all week, and I thought our defensive coaches and players did a good job of really responding. I mean, after 3 tough performances, to go out there and play that hard and limit a team who just, scored 33 and whatever they scored the week before to this many yards and 10 points. And really credit to those defensive coaches and Jeff staying the course, because it's not easy. And I got trust in those guys, and went out there and played, I believe, the way we're more capable of playing, right? So, I'm still the head coach. We want to run the ball and emphasize that. We thought we could get some light boxes. It just never came to fruition.
Coach, you've been talking about running the ball now through the first 9 games, and it hasn't come to fruition really. I think the exception of the Northern Colorado game. When you look at the tape and when you looked at what's gone wrong with the run game, it just seems that at some point it's kind of a collection of everything that's kind of contributing to the inability to really get it going.
There's a physicality to running the ball, period. And there's a toughness to running the ball, period. And we got to put it on tape, right? So from, the quarterback to the running back to the offensive line, I mean, in sync, and you can sit up here and make excuses. It's physicality and wanting to move people. So it'll always be about that. And we just don't have it right now. And to your point, it's through 9 games, and you cannot be one-dimensional. You can't, and just it's got to be a passion of what we want to do. And it's hard to just flip the switch to say we're just going to be a run team. We'll never be, 60-40 run, but we got to make sure we're being efficient and effective with the run game, which is not been there.
How'd you feel like Jamori played? You got kind of thrown in there after a couple flags from Steven.
I'm just really proud of Jamori. I'm really proud of Steven. Javen rolled his ankle on Wednesday, towards the end of practice, and Shaw has been out. So to have those guys step up like that and play against good competition, yeah, it was hard out there. Yeah, they were willing to take the ball down the field. It didn't matter who was out there, but to make a big pick, had an opportunity. Sam and Maury kind of came together in the corner of the end zone there and kind of knocked it out of each other's hands. But really proud of those 2 guys as individuals, and I think Cam Lampkin has just proven again to really be solid, and even though sometimes it's tough out there.
Any update on Dave? Noticed he was out too this weekend.
Yeah, he just the injury from the past game, and hopefully we'll get him back this week.
You've talked about just kind of wanting or like needing to have like the want to run the ball, and how kind of central that is. How confident are you that you guys like kind of have that in you guys' kind of DNA still?
Well, I mean, we haven't done it yet. It's 9 games in, so I wouldn't say it's part of our DNA right now. It's something that we do, and we try to get some positive momentums and runs in there, but it's not consistent, so whether that's scheme, whether it's execution, whether it's technique, whether it's first step, I mean, the run game is everything that we've talked about up here. So it's obviously not in our DNA right now, and like I said, there's a physicality to wanting to do it.
Is it possible to get you guys' offense kind of back on track without running the ball, or like how central is that to kind of getting back on track?
Like I said, I think you got to be balanced, and we have put up points this year against people without obviously running the ball. So I wouldn't say it's like necessity, but when we're just going to use the quick pass game and not take the ball down the field and not run it, everyone's sitting in those medium zones. So I think it's everything, right? The deep balls, can soften them up. The run game can bring them up. Offense is being balanced, and we're missing that balance right now.
The run obviously was a struggle, but I'm just wondering your kind of analysis. Obviously, it was a tough situation with the health of the running backs, of just what you thought you saw from Javinsky out there with kind of that first big start out there.
I thought Javinsky did a great job. I thought he was physical. He got us the 4th down there, but I didn't notice any drop off from him being out there versus Nakia or Dylan or anybody else. I thought he prepared hard. He worked hard. I thought he was ready for his moment, and didn't get those big breakthrough runs. But I thought. I thought for the most part, until we see the tape, if he missed some holes or cuts, but I thought he did a good job.
And then just, it was 5 for 15 tonight on 3rd down. And obviously through the first 4 weeks, it was a huge strength, one of the best in the country at it. I'm just wondering what, for you think is the biggest thing that goes into that kind of change up to now?
Well, I think probably everything the first 4 weeks to the last 5 weeks. You compare every stat, is probably not the same, right? And I think that's football. You know, we talk about winning the ball battle, didn't do it. You know, we talk about the finish factors, red zone, third down, winning the fourth quarter, didn't do it. You know, we talk about starting fast. You know, we didn't quite get an opportunity to do that. So there's a lot of factors that really drive performance and drive winning. You know, the biggest one to me is toughness. You know, toughness to us is when things are at their worst, you choose to be at your best. That's what this team is faced at right now. Things are at their worst. We got to make the choice to be our best because there's still opportunities out there.
Coach, not sure if you talked about it yet, but on that escape play by Cam, that led to the touchdown, I mean, just a crazy play there. I mean, what did you see, and what does a play like that, do for an offense?
I think Cam, I thought we could protect better. Let's put it that way. You know, I think Cam, has had to move around and do some things, and, maybe he would say he wasn't on progression and target and where he needed to be with his eyes, but he makes fantastic plays. He gives us an opportunity, and off script is really hard to defend, looking at from the defensive side of the ball. So he has that in him, and, that was a heck of a play and great catch and finish by Josh.
Any final question for Coach?
All right, guys. Go Cougs. Thank you, guys.